Imagine you are locked in a perfectly square, sterile, white room. There are no windows to stare out of, there are no books to read, no music to listen to, no tasks to complete, and most importantly, there is no phone in your pocket. You are asked to sit in a simple wooden chair and do absolutely nothing for just 10 minutes. How does the mere thought of that scenario make you feel? For most of us in the modern world, it evokes a subtle, creeping sense of dread. The silence feels heavy. The lack of input feels suffocating. In 2014, a team of psychologists at the University of Virginia brought this exact hypothetical into reality. They stripped participants of all their belongings, placed them in an empty room, and told them to simply sit with their own thoughts for 15 minutes. But the researchers offered them one alternative, a button that would deliver a painful, agonizing electric shock. The results were a terrifying indictment of the modern human psyche. A staggering 67% of men and 25% of women chose to push the button. They voluntarily subjected themselves to physical pain because the alternative, the agonizing discomfort of simply existing alone with their own minds, was too unbearable to endure. Why has the quiet space inside our own heads become a place we are so desperate to escape? We are living through an invisible, silent conflict that is reshaping the very architecture of our consciousness. This is the modern war on boredom. And without realizing it, we are happily surrendering the most vital, profound parts of our humanity. For hundreds of thousands of years, boredom was not an enemy to be vanquished. It was the default state of the human condition. It was the vast, expansive canvas upon which the human experience was painted. Think of the endless stretches of time our ancestors endured. Waiting for the rain to stop inside a cave. Watching a fire burn down to embers. Walking across a silent, wind-swept valley. Staring out the window of a train in the early 1990s. These were the long, unscripted hours where the mind was forced to wander, to drift, to question, and to simply be. But in the last 2 decades, humanity achieved something unprecedented. We eradicated the micro-moment. The micro-moment is the small gap in the fabric of our day. The 30-second elevator ride. The 2 minutes spent in the queue at the grocery store. The agonizing 3 minutes waiting for water to boil on the stove. The moment right after you wake up, and the moment right before you fall asleep. These used to be mandatory pauses, built-in breathers for the human brain. Today, they are completely extinct. Whenever reality presents us with a gap, a fleeting moment of stillness, we experience what we can call neurological friction. It is that slight, prickly, uncomfortable resistance the brain feels when it transitions from being actively stimulated to being left entirely to its own devices. It is the mental equivalent of a car engine suddenly shifting into neutral while hurtling down the highway. To avoid this friction, we medicate ourselves. The moment a dull, gray thought begins to form, our hand instinctively twitches. We reach into our pockets and pull out a glowing glass rectangle. We summon cheap, algorithmic dopamine. Imagine this dopamine not as a chemical, but as a violent storm of chaotic, hyper-bright neon particles. Toxic greens, electric pinks, blinding blues. Every time you open an app, every time you scroll past a short-form video, every time a notification chimes, these neon particles erupt from the screen and blast directly into your retinas, flooding your reward pathways. It is a beautiful, overwhelming tornado of light. It is incredibly bright, it is incredibly loud, and it is completely, fundamentally empty. If you were to look closely at these neon particles, you would see that they are just hollow rings. They strike your brain, fizzle out instantly, and leave behind nothing but a dull, gray ash. This neon assault is meticulously engineered to pacify you. It demands absolutely zero cognitive effort, yet it occupies 100% of your cognitive bandwidth. We have made a grave miscalculation. We have mistaken being constantly distracted for being genuinely entertained. We have mistaken endless consumption for actually living. But the true tragedy of the modern era isn't just that we are distracted. The tragedy lies in what this relentless distraction is actively preventing our brains from doing. We fundamentally misunderstand what boredom actually is. We view it as a void. We see it as a dark, empty space that must be forcefully filled with noise, content, and stimulation. But boredom is not an empty room. Boredom is a mental processing queue. To understand this, you have to look at the machinery of your own mind. When you are intensely focused on a task at work, or when you are deeply engrossed in a movie, or when you are doom-scrolling through a feed, your brain's executive networks are in charge. They are outward-facing, handling the immediate inputs of the physical and digital world. But what happens when you do nothing? What happens when you put the phone down, stare at a blank wall, and let boredom wash over you? A totally different, deeply powerful part of your brain powers on. Neuroscientists call it the default mode network. Think of the default mode network as a massive, intricate, subconscious factory hidden deep within your mind. It is the architect of your identity. And the catch is, it only operates in the background, specifically when you are not focused on the outside world. When you allow yourself to be bored, the gears in this factory grind to life. A warm, golden light illuminates the machinery. The conveyor belts start moving. On these belts are thousands of heavy, glowing orbs. These orbs represent your unprocessed life. They are the complicated emotions you felt but ignored. They are your fragmented memories, your deep-seated anxieties, your unformed ideas, and your silent hopes. The default mode network takes these raw, messy orbs and begins to process them. It takes that subtle argument you had with a friend yesterday, contextualizes it, and helps you realize why it actually hurt your feelings. It takes your vague, formless anxiety about the future and attempts to structure it into a coherent plan. It takes the grief you have been running from and slowly begins to integrate it into your understanding of the world. More importantly, the default mode network is the birthplace of all creative thought. Creativity is not a magical lightning bolt from the heavens. It is the mechanical act of connecting two previously unconnected pieces of information to form a completely new idea. But those fragile, brilliant connections simply cannot be made while you are actively bombarding the system with neon particles. Every single time you reach for your phone to avoid 5 minutes of boredom on the bus, you are marching into that factory and slamming your fist onto the emergency stop button. The sirens ring. The golden light vanishes. The conveyor belts halt. You are pausing the queue. You are telling your subconscious mind, we do not have time to process who we are right now. We have to watch another 15-second video of a stranger dancing. So, we have to ask the terrifying question. What happens when the factory never runs? What happens when years go by and you never allow yourself to sit in the quiet? What happens when the processing queue is permanently paused? The queue backs up. If you want to know why we are living through a global epidemic of anxiety, depression, and general existential dread, look at the backlog of the human soul. We are walking around with massive, overflowing warehouses of unprocessed psychological data. The walls of our minds are bulging under the immense pressure of thousands of unformed emotions that we have never given ourselves the time to unpack. This is exactly why so many of us experience that terrifying phenomenon at night. You know the feeling. You spend your entire day running from screen to screen, task to task, distraction to distraction. Finally, you lay your head on your pillow. The lights go out. The screens turn off. The neon storm finally ends. And in that sudden, deafening silence, your brain's factory violently whirs to life. Your subconscious mind screams, finally. The coast is clear. We have some downtime. Here are the 400 complex emotions, existential fears, and cringeworthy memories we haven't had time to process since 2019. Your heart races. The thoughts swirl in a dark, ominous cloud above your bed. The sudden flood of unprocessed emotion is absolutely terrifying. It is too much, too fast. And because we have lost the endurance to sit with our own thoughts, what do? We roll over. We reach into the dark. We grab the phone, illuminating our faces with that harsh blue light. We open an app. The neon particles shoot out once again, numbing the mind, suppressing the anxiety, and shutting the factory down. We reach for the pacifier. We push the shock button. We numb the friction. By constantly evading boredom, we are fundamentally evading ourselves. We are running away from the very mechanism that makes us complex, resilient, and insightful human beings. We are terrified of the dark, not realizing that our eyes are designed to adjust to it, and that within the dark lies the entire map of our own psyche. When you refuse to be bored, you stop generating original thoughts. You become a mere vessel, a hollow echo chamber for the algorithms that feed you. You consume thousands of opinions, hot takes, and viewpoints every single day. Yet if you were forced into that white room and asked what you truly believe, you might find you have no idea. You have no idea because you have never sat in silence long enough to let a genuine belief form. You are borrowing the thoughts of the internet because you have starved your own mind of the time it takes to create them. But there is a way back. Boredom is not a bug in the human operating system. It is a feature. It is the crucible of the self. To reclaim your mind, you must be willing to endure the withdrawal. You must learn to sit with the agonizing heat of neurological friction. It will not be easy. Your brain has been conditioned to expect a reward every time it feels the slightest twinge of understimulation. The next time you are waiting in line at a coffee shop, or sitting on a train, or waiting for a friend to arrive, and you feel that familiar itch, that desperate gravitational pull towards your pocket to blast your brain with neon, just pause. Leave the phone where it is. Look at the wall. Look at the ceiling. Look at the people around you. Let the intense, crawling discomfort wash over you. It will feel agonizing at first. Your brain will panic, screaming for its cheap, algorithmic dopamine. The friction will feel like physical heat. But if you hold out, if you wait just a few moments longer, a miracle happens. The desperate craving peaks, and then, slowly, it begins to subside. The neon ash blows away. Deep inside your mind, the gears of the factory slowly start to turn. The warm, golden light returns. The conveyor belts begin to move. The queue will begin to process. In that quiet space, you will meet yourself again. You might suddenly remember a friend you haven't spoken to in years and realize how much you miss them. You might effortlessly untangle a knot of anxiety that has been sitting tight in your chest for weeks, finally understanding its root cause. You might experience a sudden flash of profound gratitude for something incredibly simple. You might even have a brilliant, world-shifting idea. All of this is waiting for you. It has always been waiting for you. But it demands the toll of silence. It demands your willingness to be utterly, completely, unapologetically bored. You do not need to be entertained for every single waking second of your existence. You are allowed to just exist. Do not let the modern world steal your boredom, because when they steal your boredom, they steal your mind. When was the last time you allowed yourself to sit in the quiet, and what did you find waiting for you when the neon finally faded? Share your experience in the comments below. And if you wish to continue exploring the depths of the mind with us, consider subscribing. Until next time, find your way within.